Thanks for joining us for the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders at Branded share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
Hey, and thanks for that kind introduction, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Together, we are the personalities behind Branded Hospitality Ventures. We work at the intersection. Hospitality, technology, innovation, capital, and of course, pizza. We love pizza. We love bagels. We love pizza. We love tacos. We love it all. But today, we particularly really love pizza. And Jimmy, do you know where we are right now?
Where are we?
Do you have any idea where we are? You probably don't even remember where we are because you just flew in.
Boy, are my arms tired. I cannot believe I just said that pathetic joke.
Yeah, that was a good dad joke.
That's good.
We are coming to you live right now, live from Las Vegas, right? Food on Demand conference on the road. Food on Demand at, you know where we are? The Cosmopolitan, our favorite place on the Strip. I got to tell you, Jimmy, and we got a great show, and I am super excited to be here.
Let's kick us off. Let's get into this. Let's get it on.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, our first guest we've got here, Mr. Kevin King, president of Donato's Pizza.
How are you guys doing?
Better now.
Yeah, much doing fantastic. Let's jump into it. Okay. Kevin, give us a little background about yourself, if you can.
I'm been in the restaurant business almost my entire life, starting out as a kid, actually in a pizza shop. Learned a little bit about business back then. Then I went to work for a couple other pizza chains. Domino's was one of them.
Domino?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. People have heard of it. And I was at Donato's before, spent 13 years there. And then I went on, I was Chief Development Officer for Papa Murphy's and Chief Development Officer for Smoothie King, and back at Donato's in January of 2022 as the president. So pizza's been a part of me really for most of my life, but the restaurant industry certainly has for my entire work career.
It is absolutely fantastic. Donato's been around since 1963. Jimmy, that's the year you were born. Am I right?
Close enough.
Right?
Close
I mean,
enough.
And the story goes something like this. A young man, a $1,300 pizza shop purchase, and a dream. Fast forward 60 years later, over 375 locations in 22 states. Can you share more about Donato's, how it got started, and then we'll dive into the expansion plans?
Absolutely. So Donato's, this is our 60th year. Actually, this month, May, we celebrate our 60th anniversary from when Jim Grody founded Donato's on the south end of Columbus. And it's grown steadily through the years. Interesting, in 1999, Jim Grody sold Donato's to McDonald's, and he bought it back 3 years later, 2003, and has been family owned again since that period of time. The growth story is really about growing out Columbus first and then through other markets over the years, primarily kind of in the Midwest and a little bit in the Southeast of the U.S. In 2018, we formed a partnership with Red Robin, and we actually have
Red Robin. I was waiting for you to do that. I knew you were going to do it. Red Robin.
But we have a partnership with Red Robin, and they sell Donato's branded pizza in their restaurants, on their menu, and also in their digital channels and a virtual storefront as well. So today, Donato's is coast to coast, from Florida to
how many Red Robins?
Washington.
Because I'm going onto the website of Donato's, and it was like Red Robins all over the place.
Yeah, we're in 285 today, which is more than half of their company-owned stores, with plans to expand the rest and get into their franchise stores as well. And one of the beautiful things about growth is that partnership gives Donato's nationwide recognition and nationwide distribution. So our products can now be available in all 50 states. As I said, we're from Florida to Seattle, so and anywhere in between as of today. And so we have a big growth focus right now. We're going to open 10 new stores this year, 20 to 25 next year, in addition to additional Red Robins and some other non-traditional ventures.
Wait, how many Red Robins are there?
There's about 500.
So you're going to be in every Red Robin.
That's the plan.
So that's going to like make your footprint like 700, 800 stores.
Should easily.
That's unbelievable. I love it. You see the math I did there?
By the way,
Jim?
I was watching. I was looking at Kevin like he's going to the math. He's going to the math.
And then I came up with
that should be the finance guy. That does that, right?
But sometimes I jump. I get out of my lane and I jump into finance stuff. So let's talk a little bit about pepperoni pizza, because Donato's is famous for its pepperoni pizza.
Our pepperoni pizza is the best.
What? I mean, rumor has it that a regular pepperoni pizza Donato has over 10,000 pieces of pepperoni.
Well, it's not quite 10,000.
There you go with the math again.
It was wrong, so it's not 10,000.
It's not 10,000.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, our 14-inch, just our regular large pizza. When you order pepperoni, you get 100 pieces of pepperoni.
And what's a non-Donato's pizza pepperoni?
30, 35, something like that.
So it's a pepperoni lover's dream.
It's like 3 times.
It is.
And so is it just that you have a lot of pepperoni, or is it something special about it?
Well, and our pepperoni is our own recipe that we've had for years and years and years. And it has great flavor. It bakes great. A little curl on the edge.
I love the curl.
It's fantastic pepperoni. And it is our signature pizza because it kind of, it just epitomizes everything that we do. We do tons of quality ingredients, fresh things, fresh vegetables in our stores every day, but also abundance. We're known for our abundance. So when you, if we are training today, take the restaurant guy, put him in the store, and I said, put what you think goes on, and let's say we're putting mushrooms on. And we build our pizzas on scales, so we make sure that the guest gets the right amount every time. So I'd say, come on, go ahead, put some mushrooms on there.
So I'm making my own pot.
You are. And I guarantee I tell you at least 3 times to put more on.
More.
That's right. More. And that's what we're all about.
Cucumbers on the pizza?
What's that?
Can you put cucumbers on the pizza?
Well, not today, but maybe that's a future item we could look into.
You cannot put the cucumber on the pizza.
Fine pizza. You can put anything else on
We can't let them do whatever they want.
It's got to be pepperoni. Yeah. It's got to be pepperoni. Another fun fact about Donato's, Jimmy, that you probably don't know, but I know because I speak many languages. But huge, incredible charitable efforts and incredible give back. Incredible give back to the community, Jimmy. I don't know if you knew that. But Donato's in Italian means to give a good thing. I just made that up, by the way. I don't know if it's Italian, but I know it means to give a good thing.
It does.
You see, Jimmy? How smart am I?
Today's smarter than I've ever seen you before.
No, it's unbelievable. My math is on fire.
That's history math.
History math. You're crushing it.
I'm crushing it.
Your high school teachers are like, what happened to Shatsy?
They're listening. I'm so proud. My 4th grade teacher's so proud right now. So Donato's means
that's a nice
give a good thing. Can you share more about your community?
Yeah, share more. I mean, purpose has always been about what Donato's is about. When Jim Grody started, values and culture were extremely important. And throughout the 60 years, we've kept those same values that it started with. And they're really pretty simple values that really started with treat others the way they want to be treated. And that's how we build our pizzas. If I make a pizza in our restaurant, it's how would the customer want this pizza? How would our guests want that? And that's where the 100 pieces come from, and great high quality pizzas. But it goes more than that. It is about giving back. It's so much. We create jobs. We employ where states allow kids who are 14 and 15 so that we can give them a good start on life in a business that is built on values and principles that people love. And that they base their lives on. So we think that's great. But beyond that, our chairperson, Jane Grody, has really grounded us in our give back. We formed a foundation a year ago. We have some pillars in that foundation. We make gifts, housing, hunger, and health are our 3 principal our pillars of our foundation. We know it's something that is the future of our business, and we've got to make it work for us. So I think that's the real buzz around here is, who's in control, and the bigger the chain, the more control you have with the third-party providers. Mm-hmm. But it's radically changing the pizza industry. We've had our own drivers for years, mm-hmm. but now the third-party providers have all the recruiting advantage, and it's so much harder for us to recruit and retain great delivery drivers. So, we've embraced working with the third-party providers as a way to grow our business and as a way to protect us when staffing challenges come about. So I think that's the big one. The other underlying tone is just the technology. And I just came out of a session. They were talking about how all the restaurants layered in technology during the pandemic because we had to.
Sure.
We had to communicate. We had to get out to our guests in new and different ways in order to generate sales. And so those two things are the huge things I see at this conference. And it's great to be able to hear what, A, other people going through the same challenges that we are, and B, wow, those are great ideas, and to kind of see where the future is.
Very cool. Listen, in about an hour from now, you're going to be speaking on a panel along the lines you just shared, improving off-premises food quality, moderated by one of our friends, our partner, and a past Hospitality Hangout guest, Mr. Carl Osborne.
And he's got a great book.
Great book.
And you know who is in that book? This guy is in that book.
Look at that.
I talked to Carl last night. He told me sales of the second book are up over 483%. On Amazon. It's on Amazon #1 bestseller. I attributed that to me being in the forward.
Yes. And
because the first book, the sales were like, he sold like 8 copies.
Yes.
I'm in this book. He sold like 8 gazillion copies because I'm in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little disclaimer that we might be that may not be exactly true,
but it's pretty close.
Accurate. Okay, for our listeners,
you can ask Carl.
For our listeners at home and those who are not going to be able to listen to the panel, can you give maybe 1 or 2 takeaways, a preview, if you will, what topics you plan to hit on at your panel?
I don't want to give away all the secrets, but to me, it is how do we deliver great food to our guests is going to be number one, and talk a lot about that. And it's become more challenging when that delivery driver works for me. I can have a certain series of expectations, and when we're with third party, I can't. And a great example is, especially during the pandemic, all the third party providers just put the food on the porch. They might have ring the doorbell. They might not have. Who knows? And you keep checking. Well, when you set a pizza on the ground in the winter, and you take all that heat out of that pizza, it's just a game changer. You can't do that. And so how do we control that third party delivery experience while we're that's my phone.
That's okay.
I hear a phone beeping.
It's okay. Oh, wait, Kevin's a very busy man.
No, I know. I just didn't know it was my phone or your phone.
You wish it was your phone. You wish your phone was busy.
So we're going to talk about that today. And the other big part for delivering food is packaging. And fortunately, pizza has been a product that's been delivered for years. So we got some head start in that. But packaging's got to improve to give the guests a great experience at home. So I think those are the 2 big things that I know I'm going to contribute to the panel today. And, the last is speed, because it's about how do I get that pizza or that burger or whatever I'm having delivered. How do I get it home hot? And
I think you have to really look at Star Trek. You have to look at Star Trek and how they beamed down to different planets.
We're working on that, Chassis.
Yeah, you've got to beam.
You know who's going to solve that? ChatGPT is going to solve that issue.
I don't know, but you got to beam the pizza right to the table.
That'll be a game changer. Are you working on that technology?
You're working on that.
This is what I think about it.
Yeah. My young daughter wants to know, why is a pizza round and the box square?
Beam the pizza, Scotty. Beam the pizza, Scotty.
All right, listen, it wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't do our crystal ball moment. So here we are. We're at Food OnDemand. We want to know, when we come back to this conference 2 years from now, what do you think is going to be the hot
Jimmy, I don't think we'll
topics?
be invited back to the conference 2 years from now.
There's a chance. Say this. There's always a chance.
A small chance.
What do you think will be the hot topics 2 years from now? And what do you think may have changed or evolved?
Wow, that's a great question. 2 years from now, I think we're still going to be talking about technology, because technology is changing so fast. And for the restaurant industry how is technology going to change how we prepare food? Because there are certain aspects that technology is never going to replace.
Right.
And we're looking at inside Donato's right now. Jim Grody has always been about how to make the pizza more consistent, and he's done it through automation. We're putting a smart saucer in our restaurants this year, and it's going to sauce all the pizzas. So the best thing about it takes a little labor out, but the motivation behind it wasn't to take the labor out. The motivation was behind it to make sure it's exactly right.
Yeah.
And we're going to follow that up with a piece. When you put 100 pieces of pepperoni on, it takes a long time. So Jim Grody started back in the 60s trying to figure out how to get pepperoni on a pizza quicker. And he's finally done it. We're rolling it out. We're testing it in some of our stores right now. And it's going to actually slice the pepperoni from the stick and drop it right down in its place. The perfect count, perfect weight every time.
I absolutely love it. It sounds you got a lot going on over at Donato's. Expansion, incredible. Great pepperoni pizza. I mean, it's a great story. I love it. When is Donato's coming to New York City?
It's a great question.
I always ask great questions, right, Jimmy? I'm on fire. Right?
So there are some Red Robins in the New York metro area, so those will probably be first. And,
nice.
And we'll follow that with some traditional stores from there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, we're going with the branded quickfire. Jimmy?
It's the most popular segment.
It's the most popular segment of any podcast in the world. This is not me. This is real fact. This is coming right from Nielsen. It's the branded quickfire Las Vegas edition, live from FOD here at Cosmopolitan, and we are excited about this. I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Favorite Las Vegas hotel?
The Cosmopolitan.
Boom.
Absolutely.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
If you were to get married or renew your vows at one of the infamous Vegas chapels, which celebrity impersonator are you choosing to officiate?
It's Vegas. You have to choose Elvis.
I
mean, it's the only
burning love. Hunka burning love. That's my.
We're gonna edit that.
Is that bad? That was pretty good. I thought. Oh, Jimbo. Yeah. Which upcoming Vegas concert residency would you choose? Bruno Mars or Miranda Lambert?
Well, I'm going to go off the page.
You can.
I want to see Bono at the Sphere.
By the way, I agree. I was going to say Bono.
I'm like,
I want Bono at the Sphere.
I'm going to have to do a shout out to our producer, Julie. I mean, Bruno Mars, Miranda Lambert. Who's Miranda? I didn't know. Who is that? Is she like American Idol or something? Who's Miranda Lambert? Can I get clarity on this, by the way? Bruno Mars, I know, by the way. Do you know he played a little baby Elvis in a movie with Nicolas Cage, Honeymoon in Vegas. Honeymoon in Vegas when he was like 4 years old. Anyway, true or false? 11% of Las Vegas annual visitors are attending for a convention.
I'll go with true.
Jimbo, you care to guess?
Seems like a light number.
11% of annual visitors.
Yes.
I'm just reading the question again.
Okay. I think the number's bigger than that. I'm going to say that's false. It's bigger.
Look at that. Look at that, Jimbo. You are wrong. It is 11%. It is 11% on the nose. I thought it was 11.5, but no, it is actually 11%. So
that's why he's the finance guy.
You are correct, Sal. You are correct, Sal. All right, now here's the big one. This is always the big one. If you were to choose Jimmy or I to be your dealer at a blackjack table, who do you choose to have better odds of beating?
Well, he's the finance guy. I'm going with Jimmy.
He's a card counter. Jimmy's a card counter. All right, there we go. We got it. Kevin, this was awesome. I appreciate you stopping by. I apologize for our technical errors here.
Our listeners, none of our listeners knew about the technical errors that you just told them that we had
no technical errors. The setup on this podcast was absolutely seamless. It was seamless. It was perfect. It was unbelievable. You got some pizza to make. You got pepperoni to slice. You got a panel to do. So, Kevin, I really appreciate you stopping by the hangout.
Thanks,
man.
You guys.
Thanks a lot, man. This was great.
Appreciate it.
I got to tell you, Jimmy, I'm loving this Donato's. I'm loving what they're doing.
Donato's.
I got to tell you, 100 pieces of pepperoni on a pizza. If you like pepperoni, that's the way to go.
And it gets crispy on the end. I love that.
And that's truly like that. When you talk about like ghost kitchens or virtual kitchens, I mean, they've been quietly doing this out of all these Red Robins.
Not bragging about it.
No, but I got to tell you, they're just banging it out of these Red Robins. So they've doubled their footprint. That's what I like. I like that business model, you know. Red Robin's making burgers. They're throwing pizzas out the back door.
Delivering pizzas.
Not throwing. I love it. Anyway, Jimbo, we got another great guest. I got to tell you, I don't know how we keep coming up with these great guests. We got Kristen Hawley here, founder of Expedite, an incredible newsletter.
Respect.
That I love it. I absolutely love it. Kristen, just welcome to the hangout. Great having you here. First time FOD?
No, second time.
Second time FOD. Are you loving it so far?
Yeah, I flew in this morning and I'm leaving tonight.
Oh, you're in and out, huh?
In and out.
And what do you think about the Cosmo? Are you loving it here?
I mean, this has been my favorite hotel since it opened.
Us too.
Yeah, we love this way. We stay here even if the conference isn't here. Jimmy gets mad at me,
but
it's
stay on the Bellagio side though.
Yes. I'm not. I'm on the airport side. It's like my view is like I look at airplanes taking off and landing.
I made a special request to get you that view.
Yeah, thanks.
I thought you'd like that one.
I honestly, I really, yeah. So anyway, Jimbo, we got a lot of really incredible questions for Kristen.
Yes. No, I'm super excited. I love Expedite. I love your newsletter.
Thank you.
I've been following you since you founded Chefs and Tech newsletter back in 2013. 2013. That was eventually acquired by a Skiff Table. Currently, you're working on Expedite, your new weekly newsletter. You launched it in 2019. And for anyone who reads the branded weekend update, I want to be clear. I am often sharing Kristen's articles in both the market commentary.
Yes, I don't think you could even give Kristen credit.
I always give Kristen
I think
credit.
you plagiarize.
In the news, never plagiarize.
I think you plagiarize.
And the news section, I think, as I said, you're the OG. I think you're the original source for intelligent insight into this industry. Can you give a little industry insight? What's the biggest trends that you're seeing and covering?
I love to examine what's happening in restaurant technology through the consumer experience. So I'm most interested in how restaurants are changing the way that their diners are experiencing them, right? So that's the big stuff. That's delivery, obviously is huge, loyalty, reservations, and reservations now is like sort of translating into human behavior. Like more people are booking ahead, things like that. So it's like, how are our lives as restaurant fans and lovers of dining out changing because technology has injected itself into this business?
I've been writing a lot about reservations. I have bigly opinions on the reservation environment right now. As an industry insider, if there are any myths that you would like to bust, what might it be?
I think that there is so much nuance in this business that people don't understand. I think it can be very easy to segment into, technology bad, restaurant good. And they're very often, especially in the media, you see like no one is sort of willing to say, well, technology is maybe incrementally changing this business and making it a little bit better, or like maybe DoorDash isn't totally evil. Maybe they're actually doing some good for restaurants. There's so much distaste for technology and hospitality, I think, from some people that often clouds the fact that there are really cool things happening in the business.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. I've got to ask, what are your thoughts on Chat GPT?
Did you say Shats?
No. Thoughts on Chat GPT.
Pros, Shats GPT?
Pros, cons, or anything in between?
I'm for technology, so I'm excited about it. I think that it's brand new. I think it's very scary. I think that it is perhaps overblown in some ways in terms of like how quickly it's going to take over or what it's going to do or how dangerous it is. I think there's a lot of really good things happening. I actually just wrote about this in today's edition. So excited about the promise of it. However, I'm very cautious about like the unregulated aspect of it, because the technology is moving so fast. When the tech moves ahead of any kind of regulation or laws or restrictions or just thought, I think that's when things can get a little dangerous.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Man, I see my kids just using it to like write papers.
That's terrifying. I mean, I'm in the content
but
business,
it just seems like they're just doing it. I mean, they're like, I got to write a paper. Why would I write a paper? I could just ask ChatGPT, writes the paper, hand it in. Like, here's my paper, it's done.
There you go.
B. It's good enough.
It's efficient.
Maybe the teachers are using ChatGPT.
No, but I feel like they're going to have to like change their whole model. Like you're not going to be able to write papers anymore. It's have to be like some other thing to.
I don't know what that would be.
I don't know. I'm waiting for Jimmy to come up with something. But anyway,
I'm writing my own stuff.
Yeah, we know you do, Jim.
Yeah, as a journalist, it is a little bit disconcerting.
Listen, it's day 2 on the conference. You just got here. Mm-hmm. So as far as this event continues to impress with not just the quality of conversations and presentations, but the people. I mean, it's great people here. I mean, I think I saw Jared, who runs the whole thing here. Shout out to Jared, who runs Food OnDemand and graciously gave us
Jared's.
Yeah, we got to go to Jared. I bought a ring. Isn't that the jeweler? Jared's the jeweler. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I got to tell you, he gave us this great room. But I got to tell you, I mean, over 800 people
hitters.
Big machas, I like to say, Jimbo. Big machas here at this event. Movers and shakers of the industry are here. Mm-hmm. What FOMO can you impart to our listeners that weren't able to come to this event for one reason or another? They're not here. What are they missing?
Oh man, as of 1 week ago today, I was not planning to be here. So how's that for FOMO?
Exactly. You're like, there's no way I'm not going to this thing.
Yeah. I think the timing of this was really a couple years ago. I feel like this was the first conference coming out of COVID that everybody was like, we are in. And
Yeah,
we're
well, I
going
mean, with
for it.
everything, yeah. I mean, listen, off-prem, when there was COVID, it was all off-prem, so
Yeah.
food on demand was great.
Yeah, so I think I feel like that spirit has carried through the last couple years, where it's just, like everyone's here and everyone's excited to talk about stuff. I didn't go to the other big tech conferences in the industry this year, so this is my first one of this season after CES. So yeah, the energy at this one is great, and that is the FOMO to me. That is why I bought a plane ticket and I came here for 13 hours. From
Yeah, well, I just think, I mean, Jimmy and I go to probably far too many, but I think we go to almost every conference.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, one thing I love about going to the restaurant conferences is everyone's having a good time.
It's true.
Like CES, it's great. It's a great show. It's a great conference. It's just a lot of really cool stuff. But it's not like really fun people. You go to a restaurant conference, everyone's ready to rock it out and have a good time, Is there any new tech in off-prem space that you're kind of excited about? Is there anything you've seen here at the show in the marketplace that you're excited about? What are you following?
I haven't watched
Just make it up. Make it up.
Put her on the spot. Put her on the spot.
So how great? Do you love the marketplace? I mean, you walk the marketplace. How many times you walk it today? Like 5, 6 times, right?
Miles and miles and miles.
Yeah.
Check my steps.
There you go. That's better. That's a better answer.
The things that I'm most excited about, and the trend I would say I'm most excited about is that the industry and restaurant tech in general just feels more mature than it was obviously a decade ago, right? And there are so many people who know restaurants, who have operated restaurants, who understand restaurants and hospitality, that are building products for the industry. And that is so much better than some random coder that's like, I'm tired of waiting in line at this restaurant and I'm going to build an app to get myself in. And so that is the trend that I'm excited about. It feels far more hospitable than it has in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm looking out for when I'm here.
Oh, Jimbo, you love that. We love when restaurant operators are creating, fixing or solving problems. I mean, they may not be coding themselves, obviously, but they're finding people. That's amazing because they really know what the problems are.
No, we've always felt that the subject matter experts, the industry, the operators, the experts, they had to be brought into the fold. Otherwise, you're thrusting tech on an industry and without that real feel for how the operations and workflow actually come together. So I think you're right. I think this is such a more mature industry, although I still think we're wonderfully early because it's just imploding on us, but we're going to sort it out. I want to jump in, crystal ball moment. It wouldn't be a podcast without having the crystal ball moment. We're going to ask you, since we're at Food on Demand, when we come back here 2 years from now, what do you think are going to be the hot topics? What do you think might have changed or evolved?
I think that it is going to be AI. I think it's going to be that there is an embrace and understanding of AI, not like the shock and awe that is happening right now. Like, what is about to happen? Is the rug going to get pulled? I think it's going to be, we understand how to leverage this. We're interested in leveraging this and building businesses on it. And we understand how consumers, the average diner, is using and could use artificial intelligence to enhance, their day-to-day.
Do you think that we will have like pizzas being transported like on Star Trek?
You're sticking with that thing. You're really sticking with it.
I am not a robotics or transportation expert.
Yes.
Okay, good answer.
Good, yeah, better than mine. I'm going to say no effing way.
Oh, really, Jimmy?
Yes.
You can't stop technology, Jimmy.
Yes,
you can't
but I can tell you, 2 years from now, we're not beaming up pizzas.
Oh,
I know.
We'll see. Well, we'll be here in 2 years. I'll be beaming myself here, Jimmy. Mr. Negative.
There could be like a 3D printer situation where like a chef in
I don't understand that. What do you mean a 3D printer that makes a pizza? And
you can make Donato's pizza with a 3D printer? I don't think so.
I don't even understand a 3D printer. I don't understand. What, it makes something out of a 3D and you eat it? What does it make it out of?
I thought we were thinking magically.
Yes.
Oh,
we're out there on the spectrum.
But I was really I think that we're going to have transporting pizza in 2 years, Jimmy. And I guess I can't wait till I'm right and you're wrong. All right, listen, we're going to the branded quickfire Las Vegas edition, live from Food on Demand. Here we go. 5 lightning round questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Favorite Las Vegas hotel?
The Cosmopolitan.
Boom.
If you were to get married or renew your vows at one of the infamous Vegas chapels, which celebrity impersonator are you going to choose to officiate this ceremony?
I heard you ask someone else this question. I've been thinking about it. The answer is Britney Spears.
Yeah. Why Britney?
She knows a thing or two about weddings.
She does.
How many times she been married?
2, 3.
Well, that's not so bad.
No. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. She's girl power.
Yeah. Oh, so it's just, but would she sing it? Would she just sing?
And she can choose to do whatever she wants.
I love it. I love it.
National treasure.
Absolutely.
All right. Which upcoming Vegas concert residency are you most excited about to go see? Bruno Mars, Kool and the Gang, or Rod Stewart?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Because I'm, you know,
You like Bruno Mars?
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, I think I may have got, or Miranda Lambert. Who's Miranda? I still, do you know, where's Miranda Lambert from? Is she an American Idol?
Singer.
Country.
But did she win an award, or was she just, no?
I'm sure she's won some awards.
Big star.
But I mean, like, was it like AGT?
I don't think so.
Or was it?
It's, no.
Survivor? Was she on Survivor?
I think she was kind of Nashville.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Like Taylor Swift, Miranda Lambert.
All right.
Absolutely.
True or false? The largest sum of money anyone has ever won on a Vegas slot was $39 million. Carrie, guess.
I believe that's true.
Jimbo?
Let's just say false again, because I'm having fun with false.
It is true, and it happened at the Excalibur, of which they closed a week later. I don't know. I think they're still open. But that's a lot. That's a lot of money out of a slot machine, right?
As a nickel slot machine, they paid out in nickels.
If you were to choose Jimmy or I to be a dealer at a blackjack table, who would you have better odds of beating?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I don't know either. Just make it up. I mean,
By the way, I think
check out my hand movement.
I gotta
You
tell you.
know-
All right, you have to. I was going to answer it for you, but you have to answer the question.
I think I would choose Jimmy as the dealer, but I would like you sitting next to me.
No, I would definitely sit next to you. I would tell you when to hit and when to stand.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying I think she'd beat you more because you wouldn't know. You'd struggle with the counting.
I always do. That's
Like,
why whenever I play blackjack, I have to have somebody tell me what to do.
You'd be busting every time.
Yeah, I have to bring a calculator out. They yell at you. Like, you can't do that, sir. You have to put your phone away. You can't tell my guy, I need a calculator. What am I supposed to do? I mean, there's a lot of numbers.
Carry the one.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
I need paper. And they're like, you can't do that, sir. Yeah. So I always, anyway, Kristen, I think I got to tell you, you're doing great stuff. We love the newsletter. Jimmy will keep on ripping off a lot of your content, not footnoting or anything like that. I'm just kidding. Jimmy would never do that. At least he would tell you.
Shouting out, boasting.
No, we love it. We love what you're doing. It's awesome. And look forward to seeing you later today or later tonight.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Thanks for coming to the Hospitality
Thank you for
Hangout.
having
This was
me.
great.
Thanks so much.
Jimbo, I got to tell you, I love Expedite. I love what Kristen's doing. It's great stuff. I read it all the time. I think I read her newsletter less than yours, but a lot.
Less than mine, but a lot.
Yeah, because I read yours every single week. I don't know that I do. That's a lot for me.
Hey, Pinocchio, you don't read mine every week.
Bull dinky, I do. And
He has
first
the
of all,
data.
and the other thing, I'm waiting for like your newsletter to become a movie.
You want it to be an audiobook. You want it read. You want to hear it in my voice.
Yeah. If you could yes.
We'll work on that.
That's exactly what I want. If you could read your weekend commentary and put it on an audio type situation, it would put me to sleep on Saturday afternoons.
There we go.
While watching golf.
Something to work towards.
I got to tell you, we are very lucky, Jimmy. We are here at Food on Demand live from Las Vegas. This is unbelievable. And we have another incredible guest hot off a panel discussion with you, actually.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, you guys knocked it out of the park. Brita Rosenheim, managing partner of Vita Vera Ventures, and author of the 2023 Restaurant Tech Ecosystem. I like to call it the Tech Wheel.
Yes.
That's my little, I call it the Tech Wheel. I love the Tech
You always
Wheel.
have, Shatsy.
I've already made copies of the Tech Wheel. I mark it up. I put it on Jimmy's desk. I put it on my desk. I hang it on the wall. I have all my little, I use all my different color highlighters to think companies I'm interested in.
Wrapping paper.
I love
lots
it.
of
I
uses.
love the wheel. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how I have time to do it, but we love the wheel. Jimmy, we got to talk to Brita. There's a lot to uncover here because we only got a little bit out of the panel.
We did the best we could.
You had limited time.
That Mr. Andy
and,
Pesco.
well,
he runs a tight
he
ship.
talks more than you. And that's
Really?
hard. Yeah, he does. Pesco talks
I'm
a lot.
not gonna fight you on that.
I love him, but he talks a lot. So Brita, let's jump into it. You're no stranger to the trade show circuit. Am I right? What makes Food on Demand (FOD) different from some of the other multiple conferences that we go to with many different letters in them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit smaller and intimate. So I like the ability you can usually connect with whoever you want to connect with. I like its specific focus. I think there's a couple of folks here who are a little bit out of the Food on Demand focus opportunistically in a smart way. But generally, I love the expert focus. So that's why I'm here.
Well, that's why I'm here, because they, I am the expert. Jimmy said I'm the expert on the panel. He said that I'm a subject matter expert.
SME, man.
I'm an SME, and I got to tell you, can I put that next to my name, like PhD or
You can try.
MD?
You could, but it would make no sense. And
Michael Schatzberg, SME?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Why? I think people would appreciate that. Well, all right, listen, let's get back to the panel. Early this morning, you were on a panel, Investing in the Future of Tech, with Jimmy Frischling himself, our very own finance guy. For our listeners at home who couldn't make it to the panel, who will have to wait to hear this podcast or get the videotape of the panel, high-level takeaways. Give us one or two takeaways from the panel. And if you want to quote Jimmy, you can.
The world is going to hell, he said.
Or Marty.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I think all of us are aligned in our vision, and I think just execution is slightly different. So it was really enjoyable for us to all talk about even the nuanced categories that we're focused on. I think broadly we're all in agreement that they're kind of next generation of solutions that are going to make it have to move the needle on revenue and operating metrics, and that's a need to have, not a nice to have.
Right, not a lot of nice to haves, need to haves.
Yeah. I think we're also all in agreement that there are not enough folks in the industry investing in this space. I think it's an underfunded category and generally overlooked.
Tell you, that is an important point.
Yeah.
We need some more investors to step up and open up their wallet, start writing some big checks.
I know, but I actually love that Brita's firm, Marty's 858 partners, obviously branded. We have some other friends in the market. I think this is an asset class that deserves a great deal more attention. It is one of the last legacy and kind of analog asset classes. We're being digitized. We employ the second largest employer in the country.
Is that breaking news?
I don't think that's breaking news, but it is accurate. It is accurate. And I think this industry does need more time, attention, and more dedicated investors. I think so. That's my statement.
Yeah, I am going to steal your comment about everybody is adhering to the rules of gravity today. Everybody is breathing in oxygen, and everybody will be eating today. So this is not a niche category.
Yep. I got to tell you. Yeah.
I misquoted you slightly.
No, but it was good. It was good. I think the bottom line is you got to eat and you got to drink. I think you'll die if you don't.
That could be breaking news, Schatzberg.
Right?
No, but I agree. This is an industry that we as consumers, as humans, we touch it several times a day. Listen, Brita, the last time you were on the podcast, we talked about the tech ecosystem, food safety and quality, as well as really we're kicking off the kind of the ghost and the shared kitchens, two categories that are absolutely growing. 2 years later, here we are. Are you still seeing growth in these categories? Have they stalled? What are your thoughts on kind of where we were a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with the ghost kitchen. That category was definitely newer 2 years ago. I think a lot of it was heavy on the real estate plays. Now that interest rates are changing, I think a lot of the strategies are beginning to change, and perhaps some of the folks who are coming in who didn't have the depth of expertise on the food business are maybe losing appetite for the sector and kind of thinking about how do we leverage this real estate for other use cases beyond just ghost kitchens or food. But also broadly, I think more of the SMB operators in the space are awakening to the concept of virtual brands, curious about it, interested in it. And so, I think the virtual brand category is really kind of beyond the ghost kitchen space, is a category that has been elevated in the last 12 to 18 months. And I think that's a category that's worth looking out for. I think it's been flooded with all these virtual brands. It's really hard in order to maintain quality, consistency. The reason why McDonald's continues to execute is because they figured out how to execute on quality, consistency.
That's my line.
Oh, gee.
A Big Mac tastes the same anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's true.
Big Mac, man.
And a lot of the virtual brand operators or ghost kitchen operators, they're just like, whatever, it's a recipe. It's the same. But no, it's really hard to make quality food. I don't have to tell you guys that. So
I mean, I think one of the hardest thing in a restaurant is when people say, oh, you can open up more. You open up your second unit. I mean, it's just making sure that they all taste the same. Yeah. And then people go to one restaurant, like, I love them. Then they go, when you open up another one, and they're like, it wasn't the same.
Exactly. Or even the same place, but different night.
Different chef or whatever. Right.
It's tough. So I think, I'm approaching that category with caution, but I do think there is an interesting kind of revenue lift kind of expansion opportunity for the kind of underutilized kitchens of the world. Ghost kitchens, I don't think we're going to get another crop of ghost kitchen operators in the near term. We don't have, kind of the SoftBanks and the Tiger Globals spending as much time in this space anymore. And that's kind of what's required given the capital intensity of those businesses.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
What are the new trending areas that you've seen and you think are having some accelerated growth?
So I think, dynamic pricing is one that's the tip of everybody's tongue. That's a category that I personally was offended by for many years. Like, oh, come on, this doesn't make sense. And I agree. I think it doesn't make sense in an on-premise situation, but off-premise, I think we have totally new rules, new behaviors, new expectations by the consumers. So I think dynamic pricing we're finally at a moment where it makes sense to me, at least.
It's interesting, though, when you talk about that, because on the off-prem, I think it was DoorDash, I think, just came out, or Grubhub. One of the big delivery platforms just now came out, and they're like, searching, comparing your menu items online to your menu item pricing on-prem, and are starting to push back, saying it has to be the same price. It's not fair.
Pricing parity, yeah.
And I remember when we first were on these delivery platforms like Seamless Web back in the day, I mean, one of the things they wanted to make sure is they would verify your menu pricing on-prem was the same as your off-prem. But as the economics changed over the last few years, operators are like, if I'm going to charge $5 or $10, $12 for a burger in my store, maybe I'll make it $14 online, and that'll help defer some of the cost of the commissions, et cetera. So it's very interesting.
I think it's pretty ballsy for DoorDash to say, hey, we're going to charge you 30% and you have no way to recoup our charge for you. So,
it was kind of funny. I think I put it on LinkedIn, the store, and I think a lot of people commented. They're like, isn't that funny that they're complaining about that?
Yeah.
But, it is interesting to your point about dynamic pricing. But look, we've seen it. We talk about it all the time. I mean, we see it on airlines. We see it in hotels. You see it in car rental. You see it in the
But those are all different
shares.
business models. I mean, there's just more margins in all of those businesses than I don't have to tell you guys. But what happened and we were talking about this last night at dinner in the other industries is they just raised all of their prices. You have just an average price, and you have pricing parity, but all of the underlying prices increased. So
also, to your point, there's a limit on how many flights, let's say, are going in one day from New York to Vegas, whereas the number of places one could eat is virtually unlimited. I actually think it needs a rebranding. I think dynamic pricing makes people think of surge pricing. It makes people think of the consumer, the customer, the guest being on the wrong end. I think we have to talk about
Let's come up with a name right now. How about
management?
Creative pricing.
Revenue management, I'm going with. That's what I'm saying.
Revenue management.
Yeah. Anyway, I think there's a way to make it. I think there's a way to do this that's high integrity and transparent, and the guest and the operator can work where there's benefits. And then during times of day could be cheaper. So I think there's ways to do it. But I think you're right.
Rip-off pricing.
That may not work. Listen, lastly, are there any areas that you're seeing that are perhaps saturated, and where you think we might see some consolidation?
So BizOps, BI, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of, we talked also on the panel today about, just the overflow of single point solutions. There's a lot of really interesting technologies out there on kind of BI and ops and but a lot of them are kind of singularly focused on the problem that they're addressing. And what it was, Andy, what did he say? He said a really clean
company
code.
Versus a tool.
Exactly. A solution versus a company.
Right. So, because there's people that are just coming up with a tool. It's a nice tool, but it should just be part of a suite.
Exactly.
Like Microsoft has, 50 different products under their Microsoft suite, And
this segment of the podcast was sponsored by
Apple, Microsoft.
Listen, it wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment.
Okay.
So we're going to ask you, here we are at Food on Demand. When we come back here, and you were fantastic 2 years ago, and we just got a chance to talk about it with you. When we come back to Food on Demand 2 years from now, what do you think are going to be the hot topics? What do you think may have changed or evolved?
I think automation is going to be front and center, and not automation in terms of just everybody thinks robotics, but this is about business automation.
Rosie from the Jetsons. It's not necessarily Rosie from the Jetsons.
Yes, exactly. Maybe there's going to be a Rosie in 2 years. But
Well, what was the guy from Lost in Space? Remember that one?
I do remember that one.
Warning. Who was that guy?
But I agree. I think automation, we've been flirting with it. There's certain aspects that have been, we think some of the low hanging fruit of automation is self-pouring beverage solution. We think it takes 3 people to take your order, put it in the POS, pour the beverage, run the beverage back to your table. Self-serve we find to be an incredible value add to operators. But you're right, automation seems to be a big topic.
It's not that it's not here now, but I think it will be status quo in 2 years, just a lot more than it is. I think people are dipping their toes into that category and figuring out what can we automate, what makes sense, where do we still have control.
Yeah, and I think when you think about the kitchens and the talk about automation, like some of those things that Miso Robotics is doing with the Flippy and the Chippy and the this and the that, which is awesome. I think some of it, like, it's very hard to retrofit a kitchen. So it's also the idea of I'm going to build a new restaurant and I'm going to take automation into consideration when I build it. So it's a different footprint and it's different, which will take a little time to get down the pipeline. It's hard to retool a restaurant kitchen.
I mean, I will say some of the more innovative concepts on that side are probably going to be competitors to restaurants or extensions of their brand rather than within the existing restaurant footprint. So whether it's, in airports or hospitals or campuses, kind of where do you think of, kind of other places where there's food service, but it makes more sense to have, more specialized offerings.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go back to Jimmy and your point about self-pouring. I can't forget that. Again, I was at the airport coming here. I was at Kennedy and there's a Dunkin' Donuts right across from the Delta Club. And I walk out of Delta Club, going to my gate, and there's like literally, I'm not exactly, like 75 people waiting online. They have kiosks. So you can put your order in and you can pay. But then you got to stand online to get the coffee. And there's like 2 people they're pouring ice into a cup, putting iced coffee in it, and then calling your name. I mean, you can just have a self-pouring and then put your own cream and milk or whatever. I mean, it's just, unless you want one of those, super deluxe frappa mochachinos where it really just, for a black coffee, just go pour it.
Let me help everyone out here. Hey, Duncan, call me.
I mean, seriously, it's just
the next one can be sponsored by Duncan.
Yes, it's insane. All right, listen, Brita, I know you got to go back because you got like 4 more panels. You are in high demand here at Food OnDemand. Okay, everybody wants Brita on the panels. Very lucky to have Brita with us. And you also have to start working on the Tech Wheel 24. I mean, I know that you've already started thinking about that.
Got lots of feedback for it. I'll tell you.
And I think we're gonna have to do something because right now that Tech Wheel is being printed on 11 by 17 paper. I don't know the next size. I don't know what the next size is. Is it like poster? Is it poster board? Because I don't think my printer can handle it. So we're gonna have to talk about that.
3D printing.
Yeah. Okay. Branded quickfire. 5 lightning round questions. Okay. Don't think too long. Here we go. Are you ready? Favorite Las Vegas hotel?
Wynn.
The Wynn is the nicest, by the way, Jimmy. I love the Cosmo, but the Wynn, I was thinking about in my bed, like, last night. You're in the Wynn, I got to tell you, it's like frette sheets. It's like these big feather pillows. The Cosmo, it's kind of like foam. It's nice. But I no disrespect to the Cosmo, by the way.
That's why your room's facing the airport.
The airport.
I'm facing the Bellagio fountain.
You got the fountains.
Yes,
I got that. I'm looking at flights taking off. It's horrible. Anyway, I agree. I think the Wynn is the nicest.
All right,
if you were to get married or renew your vows at one of the infamous Vegas chapels, which celebrity impersonator are you choosing to officiate?
I don't even know the options here.
Anybody, any celebrity you want that you would have at this chapel.
Wow.
Or it could be Jimmy. You could have Jimmy. He's a celebrity.
No, it would be my impersonator.
It has to be his impersonator.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm going to go with Jimmy impersonator.
Jimmy impersonator.
Jimmy impersonator.
You know who does the Jimmy impersonation? Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn does the Jimmy?
Does the Jimmy impersonation.
Tell me. Let me hear.
No, Vince Vaughn. Want me to do Vince Vaughn doing Jimmy?
Yes. Do it.
Ooh.
Let's see. No one puts baby in the corner. You don't put baby in the corner. It's my Vince.
That's going to be...
sorry. Wait, we do
had
that.
to be there.
Money. Your money. You don't even know how much money you have.
Mike, your money. Mike, your money. Yeah. Anyway, which upcoming Vegas concert residency would you choose? Are you ready?
Wait, what concert residency
would
I choose?
There's artists that have residencies out. Yeah. Right now, from what I understand, there's Kool and the Gang, there's Rod Stewart, there's Bruno Mars, and there's Miranda Lambert. And I got clarity, by the way, on Miranda Lambert, by the way. In 2003, she appeared on Nashville Star. It's kind of like American Idol. And a record company signed her to a contract. So it wasn't American Idol, but it wasn't far off.
I told you it was Nashville.
It was Nashville Star. It was Carrie Underwood. That's who I was thinking was American Idol. But I knew Miranda Lambert wasn't like just, you know, I knew. Oh, anyway, I apologize. I deviated a little bit. Who are we going to see? Bruno Mars, Kool and the Gang, Rod Stewart.
I think Kool and the Gang would be a fun one.
Kool and the Gang. Jimmy?
I feel like we could all have a lot of fun.
Celebration.
You know, you didn't give my guy respect. I'm waiting for Barry Manilow to come back.
Wait a minute. Barry Manilow is playing in New York City.
Flamingo.
He's playing in New York City.
Oh, I'll be there.
He's like playing like the Beacon or something.
I'll be there.
Tickets just went on sale.
I'll be
Jimmy,
there.
you can get tickets anyway.
This is breaking news.
Yes.
Because he's not getting any younger. Okay, Jimbo. So if you want to see your boy Barry, I would say right now is the time.
Be my 100th show.
True or false? The majority of Las Vegas visitors come from the state of Texas.
Visitors.
The majority of Las Vegas visitors come from the state of Texas.
Sure. I'll say yes.
True. Jimbo?
False.
You are correct, Jimmy. Where do you think they come from?
California.
100%.
Oh, my gosh.
Because it's an easy walk, Jimmy. It's an easy walk. It's right next door. You walked here. Exactly. So you know. So anyway, if you do choose Jimmy Rye, okay, at the blackjack table, okay, and Jimmy Rye could be the dealer, okay, at the blackjack table. Who do you want to be a dealer? Because you're thinking like, is it Jimmy? You have better chances of beating Jimmy or Shatsy? Because it's your money.
I think, Shatsy, you have a good read on people. Yeah. So I think that you could be well positioned there. I think you can be pretty strategic. But as a dealer, how strategic are you in your... So
yeah, you got to hit. You got to stick.
I'm going to go with Shatsy. Maybe he can like distract and chat up some of the other players.
I'd probably just get up and walk away aimlessly. And then you just take the cards and deal you up. 21 again. Oh, my God. Brita would just break the bank. She would break the bank. Brita, listen, I got to tell you, we love what you're doing for the industry. We love chatting with you. We love hanging with you.
Thank you for having me.
It's just been awesome. And I hopefully we will see you for a drink at our favorite watering hole here at the Cosmo. Jimmy, do you care to guess where we will be tonight?
Chandelier.
The Chandelier Bar, 10 p.m. Mark your calendars now.
You guys always have these late night start times.
That's what we like to do, you know. That's what we like to do. That's because
all the happy hour special.
Yeah, all the other parties are. Yeah, all the other parties are over. That's when you get everybody coming back, and they're like, "Where should I go?" Jimmy and Shat's here throwing a party. Anyway, thanks for stopping by the hangout. I really appreciate you. This was awesome.
This was fun. Thank you, guys. Bye.
So this is Jimmy Frisching, your finance guy, signing off, passing it back to my boy Shatsy to close us out.
This is Shatsy, a.k.a. the restaurant guy, signing off the hospitality hangout. Thank you, Jeff from Hop Dottie. This was great. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers.